Hi, travelers. Tara here. I'm going to be bringing you your fire elemental for July 2019. I haven't even got the card set up. So after I finish this little introduction, I have to get everything set up. So basically, this month is some pretty complicated astrology. We have the new moon, the full moon. We have Mercury in retrograde, or about to go retrograde on July 8th in a couple of days. And the Mercury retrograde is falling uh, between two eclipses. We had our solar eclipse, our new moon solar eclipse on July 2nd. And I'm not exactly sure when the full moon is, but that's going to be our lunar eclipse. Now, Mercury does retrograde. It's going to retrograde in the sign of Leo um, on July 8th, but on the same day, Mars will also be moving into Leo. And that can be a pretty volatile kind of an energy, although Mars traditionally rules Aries and Scorpio. Um, it is in the element of fire into which it's moving. And so Mars is about speed, heat, anger, aggression, drive, focus, determination. In the sign of Leo, this may be playing out with children asserting themselves, or there could be heated discussions or heated arguments over, what's best for the kids. We are in the summer, and, break for when school starts. This could be the idea of meeting someone who really gets your fancy, because Leo also rules sex and dating, sexual relationships. This is not the marriage kind of relationship or the partnership kind of relationship. It's strictly about joy, sexuality, dating, creative expression. So some of you might find that you have some kind of I don't know, projects going on. Maybe some of you might be like coaches for little league or soccer or swimming or chess. Who knows, right? So that conjunction with Mars and Mercury stationing retrograde, however, that's a stationary conjunction. And those a lot of times can be triggers. So even though you may not have something going on at the moment, pay attention to July 8th if something does pop up. Remember that we have Mercury retrograde is basically, Mercury stays retrograde for 3 weeks, but it's almost like an 8-week kind of a transit, because we have the pre-shadow phase, which is about a week before Mercury starts to slow down. Then we have the actual retrograde phase, and then we have the post-shadow. And then they're going to be moving into the sign of Cancer. At the same time, we have Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius, his ruling sign, but we also have Saturn and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So this is big, big astrology, and this is going to be playing out all the way into 2020. And as a matter of fact, January 2020 is going to be kind of huge. I do have a couple of articles up. I'm going to be finishing up one today. So website members, if you're interested in that astrology, you can go over and read the articles. Just so you know, I'm kind of at a place with whatever's happening with me with my house, where I have some time to myself. Yay. And so this is, I've got some Akashic records have come in. Eclipses are great times to do Akashic records. They really are, because it allows you to just eclipse out whatever situations that have kind of been plaguing you or bothering you. Why am I not moving ahead? That kind of a thing. And so I have the 1-hour reading on sale. And I think, did I say this was for fire signs? This introduction is going to be for everybody. I'm going to post it in front of all of the videos, so that way I don't have to re-record it. That's a Mercury retrograde thing. And so I have that 1-hour sale going on for tarot card reader, for the tarot reading. That's on sale, and you don't have to be a member to get it. You can just go over to the website. You're going to click on the little eye that shows up where I can't ever figure out. Oh, wait, right there. Okay. And that'll take you directly over, and just go to where it says tarot readings or tarot consultations. I don't know what it says. And you'll find the 1 hour reading on sale. Just click it. I also have the transit tutorial on sale. The transit tutorial is lots of fun. It's a phone reading. It's about an hour and 45 minutes, where you get your chart, we get your chart, and we look over some things, and then I show you step by step how you can track the transits for yourself through some free software. It's really quite interesting once you see the astrology at work and at play. I know a lot of people don't believe in astrology, but you don't necessarily have to believe in something for it to actually work and have some value. And so that's pretty much it. So I'm going to stop this now, and then I'm going to set up my cards. I'm at a friend's house. I've been house sitting for the past week. And so that's why my surroundings are different. The table's going to look different. Nevertheless, I'm going to bring you the readings, okay? And so I will see you in a bit. Okay, fire signs, this is going to be your fire elemental. And I was just thinking, a lot of times Mercury in retrograde will bring about like bad weather or strange phenomenon. And I'm watching these earthquakes that are occurring across Southern California, that with that Martian energy, the earth just being very angry at the moment. So I'm not saying that that situation is caused by the planetary aspects, but a lot of times you will see bad weather events or things like that occurring when you have a Mercury retrograde. If you've ever had to travel during a Mercury retrograde, your plane can be delayed, your luggage can be lost, your phone, you can't get your phone to work right. You get there and your rent-a-car, even though you've booked it and reserved it, you get there, your rent-a-car is not there. Or you get to the airport, you're at a layover, and then you've got to stay because you've been snowed in, or there's a lot of bad weather where the flights have been canceled. And so sometimes you see things like that. But anyway, we're going to be using the, what do you call it? I don't even know. These cards, the Radiant White deck. I have the La Vida Sibila, the Indovina Sibila, the playing cards, and then you're going to get an opportunity to wrap the reading up with a Psychic Oracle Tarot. Okay? I can't tell you guys how excited I am about being able to finally move into my house, because I'm going to have an office. So I get to have all of my books around me. I get to have a dedicated reading space, a dedicated video space. I'm just super stoked about this. It's a dream that I've had for a very, very long time. So, all right, let's put 9 cards down and see what the cards have to say. And literally, yes, I know I look a hot mess, but like I said, I'm house sitting for a friend, and I woke up late this morning, and I literally just kind of leaped out of bed, brushed my teeth, washed my face, and I flew over here so I could let her dogs out. All right, here we go. First card down, there's the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. So, off the bat, I've got 2 court cards. There's the 9 of Pentacles. Wow, that's that's really quite good. Here we go. 7 of Swords. The Fool card. Oh, wow. And the Magician. Wow. There's our 0 and our 1 right behind each other with our Uranus and our Mercury card. Wow. There's a lot of yellow cards here, right? There's the 4 of Cups. Here is the Seven of Wands. So now I have two sevens. Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands. Oh, and there's a King of Swords. Wow. Well, well, well. Now, this is a fire elemental reading. Yes. I have 1, 2, 3 court cards. So this tells me that there are at least perhaps 3 people involved in this situation. I'm taking that this Queen of Pentacles, whether you are male or female, because we can all embody the masculine and the feminine aspects, okay? This, I think, is relating to work because of the coins and the wands. I only have 1 cup card here, right? Now, that's not to rule out that there may be some previous type of relationship involved here. I say that because the Four of Cups sits on the same row with this King of Swords. But to me, this really, the energy really feels like it is a work situation. Well, there it is. Our Five of Wands. This is our advice or what's over the whole reading. Now, interestingly, that's a Leo card. And as I was speaking to you in the introduction, and I was talking about, Mars conjuncting that Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo, this could bring on heated arguments. It could bring on conflict and competition. This card is about everyone trying to get their 2 cents worth in. No, I'm right. No, I'm right. Or here's my idea. Listen, sometimes that can be fighting like children or fighting, quote unquote, over children. Okay. But basically it's just 5 speak to changes, through outside circumstances. I think that this is what I'm getting off the cards. This Five of Wands is this idea that the focus of something has changed, and perhaps it has changed again through outside circumstances, other people coming in, other things coming in, and I see this here. To me, this reads the Knight of Wands with the Seven of Swords, this idea that suddenly you have to change direction. Something has come in, some kind of message, some kind of news, and you have to change direction. I also feel that for some of you, the news is a bit suspect, okay? I don't think, or at least I'm not feeling, it's this row across the center, because this is also an Aquarian card. Uranus is an Aquarian energy. The King of Swords represents the sign of Aquarius. So some of you may be dealing with an air sign male, mostly an Aquarius, but he can be either a Gemini and or a Libra. As a profession, if that's not what, then this guy could be a police officer, a soldier, a doctor, a dentist, a chef, a writer, a scientist. He's going to be somebody in which he is very ambitious. It can be calculating is not really the right word that I want to use, because calculating always, when you say that about people, it always has this like nefarious kind of a, but sometimes we do have to be calculating. We got to calculate and look at things and weigh up the best information that we have. So don't take it when I say calculation like he's being nefarious in some way. I just think the energy that's coming off is the person is very smart, very shrewd, and is not going to, in other words, stand for a whole bunch of foolishness, okay? In other words, he's not going to have any issue cutting something off if he doesn't see the logic or the rationale in it, or if it doesn't serve him, okay? Now, 1, 2 major arcana cards, 2 coins, 1, 2 wands, and 2 swords. So it's kind of interesting that I've got 2 wands, 2 coins, 2 swords, two major arcana cards. So just the idea that this repetition of twos is coming up does speak to me about some kind of partnership. Now, a lot of times the Seven of Swords is traditionally it is interpreted as lies, deceit, deception, people sticking their nose in where it doesn't belong. But sometimes there's two other meanings for this card. Sometimes the Seven of Swords can be that idea of that you're rushing around and you're not paying attention, you're distracted, you're not paying attention to the things that you need to pay attention to. And then sometimes it could be about a house move. I have this Nine of Pentacles here. We see this little snail there. He's the only, besides turtles and, what is it, armadillos, that carry their homes on their back. This could be about creature comfort, so to speak. Whatever this thing is, it is the way that the directionality of the cards, particularly at the top here, is you were in some kind of place or position in which everything was okay. Everything that you'd worked for, everything that you planned, everything that you saved for, you know, you were there kind of in your own space, enjoying and relaxing it. But then you have to take a step out and you come out in your queen energy because there's a message. And we see that this coin is following this Knight of Swords in. Now, I have seen this guy show up sometimes like a judge and or a mediator. It is this row across the center. I do feel that some news or some message has come in and you are not too thrilled about either the offer or what you got to do, or I think you're okay with saying, okay, you know, if I have to, I will, but you're not too keen on it. Now we move here to the Seven of Wands. I feel that for some of you, let me put it this way. If I were you, if you have received some news in that is kind of suspect, you know, verify it, double check it. This is a Mercury retrograde. Maybe you might need to go to somebody else to have them look over it for you. But it is the Fool and the Magician. These three cards across the center, because sometimes the Fool is about going on a journey or a new adventure. It is about a new beginning. It is about stepping out on faith, being open to things, the path less traveled. But sometimes the card can be about, you know, again, not being foolish. Okay. And here with the Magician is the trickster. He's ruled by Mercury. What does the Magician do? The Magician spends hours and hours and hours studying his craft, making, you know, learning about illusions, the sleight of hand, these kind of things. So it represents a student of the arts, particularly. It also represents someone who has the ability to change energy, change circumstances, present things in a manner in which they, you know, an illusory kind of a thing. So it says on the one hand that taking those particular skills, you can literally work magic. But at the same time, sometimes the Magician card can show up as somebody who's pretending to be something that they are not. I just feel for some of you, this is really this idea that something has come up through some kind of news or message. But I don't feel that many of you are, I think you may be shocked. I think you may be surprised. Yes. But I don't think that you have lost control of the situation. So what I'm going to do, we know that 2 sevens can speak to a warning of false friends, okay? But 2 sevens can also, oh, I forgot, I need to open up one document here. Let me go back. Oh my God, where's my document? Here it is. But 2 sevens can also mean self-confidence issues may cause instability within the relationship. Okay? And sometimes this can be the idea of somebody kind of putting a block on you. See the way he's holding up his sword here against that? And he's kind of mimicking, his sword is straight up mimicking the wand that the magician is holding. I just get the sense that whoever this King of Swords is, and whatever he represents, he's really going over some things. I just get that because of that Laminaskate, that 8, the infinity symbol over the magician's head, because the 7 with the King of Swords is an 8. Now we see from the 9 to the that's a 10 of coins. So this tells me that you had reached a place or everything was pretty good, and then suddenly some kind of news or message has come in. Maybe someone has come back from the past. You know, like I say, a lot of times old people in old situations will crop up underneath the Mercury retrograde. You thought that shit was long gone and dead, and then suddenly it makes a resurgence. Okay? So let me see what I can see about this, and then we'll pull cards on this, because this is kind of funny to me. And I don't mean kind of like funny, haha funny. I can only look at the 9 and the 7, the 4, and the 2 sevens, the 9 and the 4 as they relate to the Fool and the Magician card. So let's start with the 9 of coins. This tells me that you are firmly in control of the situation, or at least of your portion of this particular situation, okay? I don't know if that makes any sense, but nothing about the 9 of coins. So let me move to the 7 of swords. It is this whole row. And I just kind of get the sense that some of you are maybe are trying to, you're not really paying attention to something. But I think you have an inkling that something is not right. That's why this energy has shown up. Okay? I don't know. I'm not gonna accept that offer. I think because it's a cup, your intuition is kind of telling you that something is not right with this. So I don't know. Now, the 7 of Swords with the Fool may be indicating that you are currently acting too flippantly and inconsistently, and there may be a need to be more positive and stable. That could be why this energy has come out. You know, this is the perfect time for you to make sure that thoughts and actions are in harmony with each other. Okay, Mercury retrograde is all about going within and listening to the still small voice. So if something is kind of telling you that something's not right, please pay attention to that. Okay, you don't have to necessarily act on it right now. Maybe what you're supposed to do is, like I said, do the research. Okay, with a 7 of any other suit is an indication that a huge change is about to take place in your life. It is a strong indication that you have reached an important point in your life and change is inevitable. It tells of starting over under new or different circumstances, and that new and favorable conditions abound. Right, because I feel that no matter what the situation is that you're in a better place than you realize. I think some of you kind of were blindsided about something, but this indicates that there's some, perhaps some falsity or false friends around. Maybe just some people within the circumstances just creating a bunch of damn havoc. You know what I'm saying? It's a distraction when what you need to be focused on is whatever your goal was to begin with. Whatever this means to you, this is what you should be focused on, because in doing that and having the faith and trusting and knowing that you're at this particular moment, you really are, you need to use that by recognizing that you are really in a better place than you realize you are. I'm going to pull cards across here. Let's see. The Four of Cups. See, it doesn't tell me anything with the Seven of Wands. Let's take a look at the Seven of Wands, shall we? Nothing. Tells me nothing. For some of you, I get the sense that somebody comes back, somebody shows up, or you hear from somebody like out of the blue. What? You know? That Fool card can be, but you know, but this is what is so. All of these cards are yellow. Yellow implies mental agility, intelligence, happiness, growth, prosperity, and then we have these three blue cards, and blue kind of represents the idea of peace and harmony. But these two cards have this light gray kind of a color to them, and I'm going to show you. See, I don't know if you can see the difference in blue and the color. That's why I like using these cards, because the colors really speak to me. So it's just for a moment. Here's all this yellow, but there's something that comes in, some message, some news, or someone returning from the past. There you are. Okay, whatever. And then as we move through this cycle here, something I think either you're going to determine that whatever this thing is, you're not going to allow it to, because even this could be you. All right. This could be two different aspects of you. All right. So what I'm going to do, I want to look first at, I want to see what, let me use these. And then I'm going to pull Endovenus on top of that. I want to see what this message is all about here with this Knight of Wands, because that's how it ends. This is a fast-moving energy, something coming in, but it brings about some kind of situation where maybe you got to move fast or act fast or think fast, okay? But I honestly think that you need to double check, and if you can't double check, if you don't have anybody to, I don't know, get some advice from, wow, I wish I could tell you. Let's see what this Knight of Wands is telling us, what it's about. L'amica, the relationship of trust. The domestico, well, isn't that something? And the desperate jealousy. Now, these three cards together, I do feel, whether this is business or romance or friendship or whatever, it pertains to the idea that you are a trusted individual, someone who can be counted on, someone who people can confide in you. This is the old friend or the relationship of trust. But here we have the domestico. This speaks to me of someone returning, the man returning. Now, the domestico is just that. He's supposed to be doing things to help you. So he's supposed to run errands and send out messages or whatever. But he's kind of a shady character, because the question becomes, well, is he doing that really to help you? Or is he doing it to help himself? The man returning. Here we have the desperate jealousy. This is about an excessive attachment to a situation. That is literally what the card means. So this tells me that some of you are going to be dealing with from the past. Someone coming back from the past. In one respect, trying to either get back in good with you or approaching you from the manner of, we're old friends. That. I don't know if they're coming to ask for help or if they are coming to, they show up at the moment where this thing happens, okay? And maybe the person has all of the skills and all of the knowledge, per se, that you need to help you through this, whatever it is. But there's something else happening here. I don't know if there's an attraction here or what. Let's see what the Seven of Swords has to say. The allegrezza al cuore, the happiness of the heart. This is the personal happiness now. There is the casa, the house, or the stability and the security. And there's the donna de servizio. Well, on the Seven of Swords, isn't that a strange combination of cards? Maybe it's a timing issue. Let me look at this Magician card. Okay? That's a very, very strange combination of cards. Speranza, the hope. The morte, a complete and utter separation from a situation. But sometimes the coffin will show up as an ending, but an ending is a beginning, but it can also be a cancellation of something, okay? And the stanza, the card of communication, and there's nobody there. Whatever this thing is, I do feel it's really, I don't think about a person. It is the aspect under which we are under this Mercury retrograde. That's really what's coming across. I want to pull cards, Endovenus, on this Allegrezza al Cuore. That's just an odd trio of cards. Faithfulness and affection. Wow. Flattery. And these are clubs. So again, there's this aspect of work here. There we have another Page of Wands or Knight of Wands. See him in the insert. So again, there's this person, this idea that someone is showing up. And it says the journey. And this is 8, 9, 10. This is the 10 of coins. Voyage. Huh. Let me go into and look at the 7 of coins. I mean, the 7 of swords for you. Because it's not always negative. I don't want you to assume that it is always negative. Okay? Even something negative can be an impetus to change into something positive. It represents a time of solitude and questioning oneself with the focus on adjustments and ill-conceived plans. You are asked to be wary of fanciful promises and should look carefully at any situation before making adjustments. You need to remain concentrated and focused at this time and should keep distractions to a minimum. Excuse me. It often depicts the trickster and may indicate that things may not work out as planned or expected. You are asked to show some tenacity and boldness in action to bring about your desired result. You are encouraged to be bold and brave and to take risk at this time. That's what this card is. This is about taking risks sometimes, but not in a foolish manner. It may be implying that you are carrying a heavy load or burden upon your shoulders. You are asked to delegate tasks and responsibilities to others and not to take on other people's responsibilities for them, as this denies them the opportunity to learn the lessons of their own actions in regard to cause and effect. Remember, I always talk to you about people have choices. Everybody has a choice. You know what I'm saying? Some people think they don't, or they try to blame the outcome on other people, but it's always a choice. It may indicate that dealings may be dishonest and not straightforward and direct. It brings a message to be particularly aware of all proceedings and to remain cautious. It implies that we or others may sometimes feel obligated to behave in ways that are not direct, but which we accept, hoping that the end will justify the means. There's a flattery card. It can carry a message that something that you thought lost will be returned to you. This may include the rekindling of friendships and old ties. I love cards. It can suggest that your plans are not working out as planned, so look for an alternative. If your plan does not work out, you should not look to place blame on others, but rather look to yourself for the reasons of the failure. It may also indicate that the most likely cause of failure is hasty actions and a lack of focus and concentration. It may be warning you that your plans will not work out at this time due to circumstances beyond your control. There's just those two major arcana cards here, along with that Five of Wands. You may need to look to alternative options or means. It can tell of upset plans, postponements, delays, and cancellations. It is as though everything is going wrong around you at the moment. Right. And the fact that you can't even talk to nobody, and I think you're mad as hell about whatever this thing is. It implies stealth around someone who attempts to outsmart destiny and evade the consequences of their wrongdoings. It tells of the possibility of tension, arguments, disagreements, and misunderstandings within a current situation. It may also imply that someone is spying or delving into issues that are not their business. It may be warning you to be honest and upfront in all of your dealings. Otherwise, you will be caught out, and this will have detrimental effects on many levels. It may be implying that you may be inclined to take flight from a situation rather than to face up to and take the appropriate responsibility and actions to find a solution. It can also tell of surprise and or unexpected opportunities. I just think that this is kind of like really, to me, it just reads as though you were moving ahead with your plans and either someone showed up out of the blue or will be showing up out of the blue, or an old situation comes back, okay? Something, like I said, that you thought was long gone, dead, and over. I took care of that crap already. And then you find out, just out of the blue, something has happened unexpectedly so. I would, again, check that message. If I were you, I would double check, triple check whatever information is coming in. Do the research. If you need to find some old documents or papers, do that. Use that time to go over before you move ahead. I just think that this is telling me that for the moment, you're going to be kind of stopped dead in your tracks. Okay, but instead of looking at it like an obstacle or this major delay, you should look at it kind of like a blessing in disguise, because I think that if you're missing some information or you're not sure about something, if you use this time from now until, I forget exactly when Mercury ends, I want to say July 28th, I'm not exact, 26th, 28th, I'm not sure when it comes out. I think you're going to be prepared to move ahead, because as I said, this could even be you. So let's pull cards on this. There's the Ten of Hearts. Look, it's another Seven of Spades, like a Seven of Swords. And there is a King of Wands. Well, I be gosh. That ain't what I was going to say. Okay. That's that fire energy coming out. Wow. Whatever this thing is, it's like it just happens. It just comes at you at the wrong time. Because I honestly think you were really focused on doing something else. Let me pull my cards out. Let's see here. Black. Oh, hold on. Hey, hold. All right, sorry. I thought my friend had come back. I was like, God, they got that quick. The dog their little schnauzer just barks when the wind blows. So anyway, there's three cards with the predominance of the two black cards. So it says right now, whatever this thing is, it's kind of like a negative thing, but not really. I think it's just going to depend on how you look at it. Now, the Ten of Hearts says good luck and success. And it counteracts any bad cards that are next to it. That's 7. It suggests that your roads are open and that good things are on the way. So this, I think, just this 7 of Swords or this suit of Spades is just simply that. It says beware of deceit. And we see that. Again, that flattery. Beware of deceit. Hold on, I can't see. By someone you trust, quarrels and stress from overdue bills and overload. It says it is about advice that is best not taken. It says a loss or obstacles to success, but could also indicate that the problems are within you. In other words, I think maybe you, whatever this thing is that has shown up, it kind of freaks you out a little bit. I think you regain and it may be that this could be somebody else. Hold on. Let me give you the... Hold on. Okay, hold on one second. I didn't bring my large, so I'm trying to read this off my... This says a dark-haired man, the King of Clubs. Someone with fire predominating in his chart and true to his affections. Easy to get along with, but also has a serious side. If this represents you, this talks about the new ideas and the ability to lead others, to act now, or to start a new business. I don't know what that's telling me. Now, I have another interpretation of this. So let's see what it says. The Ten of Hearts speaks about good news on the way. The news will usually be a direct response from something that you have initiated, but it's something totally unexpected. The nature of the news can usually be determined from the cards on either side. Well, I don't understand what this is telling me. It says that whatever the good news, that it is likely to be temporary and that you should enjoy it but not expect it to continue indefinitely. Again, it just almost reads as though something, you were on your way to doing something and then suddenly you got some news that has kind of put things in its track. Halt, stopped it. But there's something about the message. This keeps coming across. There's something about the message that I want you to be cautious of. Here are the spades. Hold on. I think in this book, the spades come first, which is unusual. Yes, the Seven of Spades. My phone. I hate this phone. The Seven of Spades indicates a partial success. It can be frustrating as you will have worked hard for a long, long time and will consequently expect more in the way of rewards than you ultimately receive. You will need to step back, reassess the situation, and then move forward again, but in a slightly different direction. You need time to reflect and think and learn from this experience. It promises long-term success, but only after a lengthy period of sustained effort. I think you're going to have to kind of get back into the fray. But I just get the sense that this is the last. You see, it's a 0 and a 1. Right? It's the beginning. You got to rearrange some stuff. Maybe something stops. But that's what you should be doing underneath the Mercury retrograde. Here's the King of Wands. Someone who knows more than they let on. Affable, easy to get along with, but a serious side. It says that this person has a past, has been hurt in the past, and as a consequence has put up protective barriers to shield him from the criticism of others. The person has many interests, some of which are solitary, and enjoys time on his own. Sometimes lonely, and is at his best inside a close, loving relationship. It says that you know this person, and it says it indicates that this person has a major role in your life. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. So what I'm going to do is pull cards. Because this is kind of like hope is dead and there's nothing left to talk about. Right? That's kind of what it says. The Magician. The Lamante, female, lover. The Consolante Sorpresa. This is the consolation. This is the second prize. And the Amore. Well, isn't that something? Maybe this is the idea that you tell the person, you know what? That was in the past. The past is the past. And I'm not, I can't do that anymore. Okay? That's kind of weird. Either way, there's somebody showing up. Somebody's coming back when you least expect it to kind of throw you off your game. I don't know if this has to, all of the twos speak to partnership, to coins, to two wands, the two swords cards, right? The two major arcana cards. It is that third thing, and this is not a person. That is a message. This is a return of somebody or some news coming in. Maybe it's somebody who's jealous that, you know, they see you doing well. Maybe you've been in contact with them recently and they're kind of wondering how it is that you're doing so well. So they kind of come back to kind of insert themselves to try to probe and see, you know, what you're doing, how you're doing it, who's helping you, if anybody's helping you, that kind of a thing. Putting out feelers. It is the Sun card. At least I think it's the Sun card. See, and I could tell you all of that yellow that's in there. I just don't think this is really anything to be worried about. It says this card reassures you that this is your time to be in the light. No matter what's happening around you, prosperity and bliss are promised. The qualities of this brilliant card are pleasure, happiness, contentment, growth, success, joy, and illumination. The light always brings forth new birth, a constant renewal of life. This is one of the best, if not the most positive cards in the deck, and it is yours. This is your moment to shine. The radiance from within will be there for all to see. As people become attracted to the rays of your spiritual light, and by being compassionate, generous, inspiring, and a leader, many will benefit as they feel the warmth emanating from you. Be discerning, but also be open to whatever or whomever you are attracting, for your rays reach far and wide. The light card reminds you that because of its power, nothing remains in the dark. Through its illumination, truths and certain paths before you begin to emerge and can be surely seen. Using the energy of positive thoughts and continually thinking about the happiest and most joyful of memories will light the path before you even more brightly and attract exactly what you're emanating. Keep on shining. This is the Sun card. I just think it's a slight hiccup underneath this Mercury retrograde, whatever this is about. Okay? So, that's what I have for you, fire signs. Hope that helped. Till next time. Namaste.